up when our next speaker is not embarking on an epic road trip. He's likely solving complex performance issues. Now we're diving into the world of performance optimization with Adobe Commerce using New Relic's powerful monitoring tools. Leading this deep dive is Balvesh Rakkar, technical lead at RightPoint with over 7 years of experience in the Magento and Adobe Commerce space. And today he's going to walk us through how to leverage New Relic's APM, cache insights, and custom dashboards to ensure a peak performance for Adobe Commerce sites. Please join me in welcoming Balvesh Rakkar.
Next slide is from
the green line is good.
Hey everyone, thanks for having me here. So you can see the topic that I'm going to present here. Before that, a little about myself. So I'm a technical lead for an agency named RightPoint. I have around 4 Adobe credentials, including subject matter expert. I'm passionate about solving problems related with Magento. Performance being one of them is how I came across New Relic. So why this talk? I've seen, and from my personal experience, I've observed many times in a particular application, there are data silos. Data is scattered, there is no cohesiveness, and we don't know what is going on with the website, how well our websites are doing. A lot of reactivity is observed as well. We often act in panic whenever issues go wrong or things are not working and there are spikes around the website is down and people cannot access your application. What happened when happened, no clue about that as well. So we want to move away from just being a reactive person and taking that approach to being more proactive when things are in your control, things are seamlessly tied together so you know how much time what service is taking, how much things are taking between the interactions of those services, and you are more proactive, and you have control over your websites. And you know why, what happened before any customer impact is there. So that's the main idea behind why I want to talk about moving away from reactiveness to proactiveness and how that can benefit everyone over here as well. A little disclaimer, this is not a sales pitch, and I'm no New Relic tool expert. This is just my personal experience with using this tool. So let's get into this. The agenda is simple. I'm going to start with what is New Relic. So basically, to keep it simple, New Relic is a monitoring, debugging, and improving tool. So let's talk about monitoring. You can basically monitor all the services and your website at one place. You can use those insights to debug further on to what things are not going out right, and then further on improve your website using those. Why it stands out, that's a big question. Why not other tools? Why just New Relic? So one is deep Magento integration. I would like to mention that Magento has a core New Relic reporting module that you can also extensively enhance on, use it according to your customizations. And New Relic agent is being recognized by PHP as well, and it gives you granular insights using that. Also, there is a term I would like to phrase on is NRQL, New Relic Query Language. It is very interesting because a lot of New Relic functionality is based on using that language, and that's how you can customize that particular query that New Relic provides you to get further insights into what your website is doing and how well it is performing. Ease of use, as a personal experience using New Relic compared to other monitoring tools, I think it's very easy to get your hands on and use it to get insights into Magento. What does it bring to the table for us? So that's a big thing. Like, what does New Relic has to offer as a core functionality? So all I'm going to cover in this particular section is the core functionality New Relic provides us. Logs. I think we, as a developers and also clients, love logs because they give what key insights we need for our project. Logs in context means they are meaningful, not in terms of just that there are logs scattered in your different directories on your servers. It's just that you have the unified view that New Relic provides. What does it do? It helps you to debug further and lead to faster resolution for the issues that you encounter. Two of my personal favorites that I've used are Livetail. So one of the real-time examples I would like to provide about live-tailing is you want to test a particular issue that happened on payment page when a customer is trying to click on place order. As a developer, you are a bit unsure if that's the particular error that is getting produced when the customer is trying to place the order. So what you do, you try to replicate that issue or have someone replicate that issue again. Just before they click on the place order button, you click on the Livetail button. So it gives you real-time insights into that particular issue. And then you know that, OK, I have identified what is the root cause over here and from where that issue is getting logged. Then comes the next favorite feature, show surrounding logs. It's basically a log of in a time sequence or a time machine that tells you what actually happened before that error was logged in your system. And you also see what just happened right after that. So you get these interesting features out of box with New Relic as in logging features. Slow request, I think that's one of the pain points that we have also seen. Many of our applications have spikes, have requests taking a lot more time, but they really don't know what happened. For instance, over here, this particular request took around 21 seconds to complete. But New Relic tells you that the slowest component was the third-party service that took around 94% of the time. So you are able to identify what exactly happened and what was the culprit over here. So pretty easy to basically report back on, use that information to debug further, and you have answers to start the debugging process at least. Another one is definitely very important, tracking core web vitals. So we have seen and we know that Google keeps them on a pretty high standard, tracking these three web vitals, which are LCP, largest content paint, CLS, and INP. What we have done over here is leveraged core functionality of New Relic, but tailored them in such a way that we can show them on a dashboard. Easier for us to track, monitor, and improve upon our scores and the SEO rankings as well. That's great. Another way you can basically fine-tune and get more insights into your requests are custom tracers. So this comprehensive overview that we are seeing is a native New Relic functionality. The custom tracer, for example, I built a custom functionality, get product manufacturers, for example. And I think there could be a slowness because of that. I'm just not sure. So what I do, if you have New Relic agent enabled, you can basically use one line of code that would log that particular request in New Relic, and you would be able to see how much time it is taking. So that's very beneficial when you know your product page is not performing well, but you are unsure how the components are performing on their own. Certification monitoring. So we have automated a lot of stuff, and this is one of the things that we really like about New Relic is you don't even have to worry about your SSL cert being expired. You can just have New Relic do that job. So we did that, and the red area indicates when we were getting alerts from New Relic that told us your cert is getting expired soon. And we were able to get the new cert in place, resolving the alert, and you can see it went back. Caching insights, I think it's pretty depicting that how important cache hits are for us and our customers. Over here, and this is again native New Relic functionality with Fastly, so you might need to get more support if you are not on Adobe Commerce Cloud and using Fastly. But over here, what we have done is we have used Adobe Commerce App for New Relic to see how the cache hits are looking like. For instance, there was one use case in which there was a core Magento bug that was deployed on production for one of our clients, and it was flushing the cache after every minute, causing the website to be extremely slow. And these kind of insights were able to tell us, like, okay, you are getting the cache flushes happening every minute, so there's something wrong. And we were able to get to the resolution pretty quickly. So these were all the native features that we have talked about. This section is particularly my favorite, how it has benefited us. How can you use it to get more out of your application or get a more overview of how things are working in your application? So to start with, fatigue is one of the things that it helped with my team. We almost have automated alerts for what all can go wrong with our website, and as much as we are aware about, and we get alerted about that even before there is a customer impact. It reduces a lot of alert fatigue. You don't have to basically move over and look into things, look into documentation, what that particular custom code does, why this happened. So it reduces everything from that aspect. Also, what you can do is you can have a run book exactly tied to that particular alert that got triggered. So you have specific steps. Even a junior dev can take that and resolve that issue, which otherwise would have gotten a high level of resource to be involved to resolve that. Another is tying optimization to graphs, which I love using, because when we depict the information to our clients, even for ourselves, I think these tell a bigger story. Over here, what we have done is we have reduced the write requests that are going to the database for our Magento application drastically. And why this happened, how we came across this issue in the first place. So we were seeing on our application, we were getting a lot of duplicate requests. When looking further into that, we checked there was a core bug from Magento that was not comparing the data types. So for example, we want to set a particular price in the database, and the price hasn't changed in the database. There shouldn't be an update query being made. And Magento was always getting that price data type as string, and what we are sending is float. So the data would never compare one-to-one. That led to duplicate update queries to your database. And we were able to uncover that. We created an issue with Adobe. They were able to respond back, and they acknowledged that. When we applied this particular fix on the website, it showed this results, and which were pretty fascinating. So another reason how you can use New Relic to depict, and this is a MySQL infrastructure visibility, so you have these kind of capabilities using New Relic as well. Page actions. I think many ways you can use this, and over here, how we have used it, and this is basically an example of what an NRQL query looks like. So page action is basically a sample set that you can use to get data. There are others like metric, logs, a lot many in New Relic that you can use according to what you're looking for. This particular query, what it shows, how many customers came to your website on product page and from which region code were they coming from. Kind of analytic stuff too involved over here. So you can use them in that sense as well. However, a use case where we were using it on checkout shipping step, we got some reports that the continue button that led customer to get on the payment step, which is very important, they were not seeing that. And it was only for specific customers, so it was hard for us to track which people are getting this issue. The way we used page action was to check for that element, and if it doesn't show up, we log it to the page action using a JavaScript code. So New Relic provides you like a script that you can use and append the data, and it would log into the sample size of New Relic, sample set, sorry. So you can basically use that to get more insights. Okay, I have around 500 customers visiting the shipping, checkout shipping step. How many of them are not seeing the continue button? So you have more realistic data to gather the customer impact, so you can basically increase, decrease the priority of that issue. Or even if it's one of you know using this. So a lot many use cases you can use page action for. Another one which is very important, I think this comes and shows off like from an agency standpoint how much you do for your clients and how proactive you are. So the external services make updates to one of our clients of Magento, and they make frequent updates. So we had an alert if we don't get any updates for them for an hour, we get alerted on that. So there was one issue, as you can see in this red area, at 2 p.m. EST, we never got an update for an hour. So we alerted the third party that they have something wrong going at their end. They were not aware about that. But as soon as we alerted them, they were able to check it in real time, and they acknowledged the issue, and they responded back and resolved that, which led to faster resolution, and clients were happy that even external services getting impacted is being alerted by us from Magento agency. Insights into key requests. So I would like to talk about a use case before telling what the meaning of or the usage of this was. We got a request from our QA team that some of the customers on our mobile app, which uses GraphQL and interacts with Adobe Commerce, are experiencing slowness on their account. So some of the customer requests were getting timeouts, but we were not sure why that is specific to some customers and how can we know about that. So what we used using New Relic was we added customer ID as an attribute to that particular request. Now we know which customers are facing that. And we checked and looked further, and they had large amount of duplicate addresses related to their account, resulting into those timeout calls. So another useful use case that we used New Relic for, and this is a view for that particular GraphQL customer query that you can view on New Relic, and the customer ID in the custom attributes. So a lot of key takeaways that we have over here and the benefits of using New Relic and some of the personalizations that we have done. However, I would like to state some limitations as well. So there's one limitation that the data retention is not getting you a lot of historical context. I believe New Relic only has data till 3 months, and maybe 1 month on like important queries. So you cannot use it for gathering data like what was your website's condition 1 year or 2 years ago. Another factor to account for is New Relic can give you high-level insights into what slow requests look like, but sometimes there are limitations into how deep they can go. You can customize the data, but I believe there are some limitations in getting those kind of insights. Nevertheless, I would like to end my presentation with this quote, that technology empowers us, but only responsibility sustains us, which means New Relic as a technology over here, as an example, can empower you, but it's up to you how you want to manage it and reduce the noise and keep it in check regarding your alerts and other stuff with New Relic. With that being said, thanks, guys, for having me here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Balvesh. Perfect timing. We actually have time for a few questions. So if anybody has any, we have a handheld mic. And I'll let you.
Do you have a link for your slides?
I'll post that on my LinkedIn. I don't have it right now, but I can surely get it to you.
It's on your LinkedIn. That's perfect.
Sorry, I'll be posting that soon. But please follow me. I'll post it over there.
Any other questions? Covered everything?
Looks like.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, guys.